What is up, y'all? I know I'm a little late. I'm a little late to the stream today, but that's okay. We're still streaming today. Absolutely. Getting some things set up. Normally have my other lights set up. For some reason, they haven't been connecting as easily today. Oh, there they go. Boom. Bam, bam. All right, now let me adjust light number 2, get the vibes going. I'm gonna put it on. There you go. Cool. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. Welcome everybody to the stream. I think that the title of the stream is something that has been kind of near to me because when I started out on my journey and my walk with Jesus Christ, Christian YouTube was a very good it's a very good starting point because I recognize that there's a lot of great people trying to spread the word of God, right? And I think one of the biggest problems I've seen recently is a lot of people using Ephesians 5:11, which we do need to do. Have nothing to do with and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them, right? I think that's the focus of a lot of discernment channels, which I think is good because a lot of them do post a lot of great content, right? But I've noticed that there's been a lot of focus on just the people who do have some different standpoints and some different viewpoints, and thinking that because they don't agree with Catholicism, they don't agree with Eastern Orthodoxy, that they're ultimately satanic. And or just saying that these people are not part of the body of Christ, which I would have to disagree. Even though I don't fully understand the viewpoints of a lot of the people that lean towards Eastern Orthodoxy or Roman Catholicism, like there are some aspects where I understand where they get their theology, and I don't agree with the papacy, and I do not agree with a lot of what the most modern pope has done. I really think that there are some people that they use their platform, they use their monetized channel to focus on so many other Christian YouTubers and what they do wrong and assume that it's all darkness and that it's all evil. And I think that there's some points to be made. Absolutely. Because I think people could be doing things better, all of us. But I've realized that some of this infighting within Christian YouTube has made me question a lot of why people leave the faith. Like, I think the way that a lot of Christian YouTube approaches this stuff is part of the problem. Like, and it almost doesn't matter what denomination of Christianity you're dealing with. Like, it's like, well, this guy's wrong, and this guy's wrong, and this guy's wrong. And everybody uses Ephesians 5:11 to justify their stance. Right? Now, there are some people that absolutely need to be exposed for what they do. 100%. And they probably have been tons and tons of times. And I think it helps some of the new believers that might lean one way or another. Make sure that they don't fall into the pitfalls of, okay, you don't need to sow a seed to get a blessing from God. It was freely given to you. But my only concern is that it's okay to debate different denominations. But when you assume that just because somebody is Roman Catholic or somebody is Eastern Orthodox that they don't believe in Jesus Christ or they don't believe in what he did, I don't think you may understand that person's specific stance. Because I really don't know. It seems like there's a lot of tradition with Roman Catholicism, and Eastern Orthodoxy. I think it can be used for good things, but I've realized when the focus isn't always Jesus Christ, it strays people away from it because it just seems like you're being very critical of the people you're supposed to be a part of. And I think that this verse is very important because we do need to reprove unfruitful works of darkness, and there's a lot of them in the body of Christ. And I think there's tons of videos out on it already. And it seems like Christian YouTube uses this verse to justify an entire ministry. Have you noticed that? Like, it's like they'll point the finger at what everyone else is doing and being like, oh, this person's unfruitful. This person's doing something bad. Now, there are some people that are clearly doing evil things and need to be exposed for it. Absolutely. But I don't think that your whole channel should just be based upon one verse or based upon verses that only focus on this. Because then I really think you lose what the whole point of the book was about. It wasn't about this. The entire book was about Jesus Christ. And I think when we only focus on the unfruitful works of darkness and exposing them, we don't show people that there's, Jesus paved the way. He's the one who made the way for us to get out of it. Now, I think that some people need to see this to see, we need to think about some things, about how we do things, and either change them or repent. But I feel like as much as discernment in YouTube is needed, there's a lot of them that only focus on the unfruitful works of darkness and what scriptures justify that versus actually making more time to focus on the goodness of Jesus Christ. And it's kind of concerning because you're exposing the unfruitful works of darkness, yet you're monetizing off of it. And then you blame other people for monetizing. You point the finger at other people for monetizing their channel and building a following, even if you don't agree with them. Which I think that it's a very difficult line to walk. But I do think it is important that they exist. It's just making me wonder, do some of these discernment channels unintentionally divide the body of Christ because they do not agree with different denominations and just assume that it's a cult or assume that it's these things without more evidence. Because even recently, there's some people that are like, oh yeah, I believe Jesus Christ, but I believe King James was a Freemason and he was a homosexual. And I'm like, okay, what makes you say that? Because I had wondered that before I had gotten into reading the King James Version of the Bible. And weirdly enough, he wrote a book on demonology. And you're just thinking, wow, dude, that sounds like that would be somebody who, if they wrote an entire book on that, they'd be well versed in those types of things. But when you read the entire, I actually was able to find a reprinted copy of the Book of Demonology, and I was able to read the introduction, and then skip to the first chapter. And from what I could understand from the Old English, it looked like he was doing this. He was really saying, hey, I have no fellowship with this, and I don't understand why people do not understand that witchcraft is satanic. Because if you read it, it's openly saying, this book is to expose the unfruitful works of darkness. So what makes us think, even though King James was within the time of the first foundings, because there was somebody who, he goes out a lot. He's got a popular channel, and he tried to say that because some of the earliest documented Masonic churches were documented in the 1700s, that King James couldn't possibly be a Freemason, to which he was wrong, because there were earlier documented Masonic churches in the zone of where King James was. But that doesn't inherently make him a Freemason. And the thing was, too, is back then they had documentation of who, especially if you were royalty, of who was initiated into Freemasonry. And one of the earliest Freemason churches was in documented Masonic minutes was in 1599 in Scotland. And I recognize that just because there's information that's in a close time period, I think that as much as we do need to show that we have no fellowship with unfruitful works of darkness and expose them, I think that there are some people, because they're so quick to jump to being the first person to say it, that they don't do enough research. In turn, end up making us as Christians look like we all just fight with each other and we all hate each other and don't agree and think that other people are going to hell because we don't agree. So if anybody sees this with the discernment channels, I think that that's what all of us need to focus on, is if we're going to expose unfruitful works of darkness, how about we gather the best research and do our research and make it as clear as possible, instead of just saying, go do your own research. Because it's funny, the same people that say, go do your own research, do not provide sources. And when they do not provide documents, they just provide a video of somebody saying something, which is concerning. We genuinely need to think about that, Because when I started doing my own research, it almost makes you not want to trust people, because they're just saying, well, these people are wrong, go do your own research. And then I go do my own research and I prove that same person wrong. And it's concerning, because then it just seems like we're, instead of actually doing research and caring and trying to make it about the love of Jesus Christ and that we have a way out, it's more about, well, there's all this darkness here. Look at it. Look at it. So it's like, are we going to focus on that? And that's my only kind of quarrel with Christian YouTube right now, is that because I feel like whether they know it or not, it's like, I'm somebody who, I've been a believer for about a year now, and I'm newer to the faith, but I'm somebody who does read the Bible every day, does pray, does go to church now. And when I see it, it's like we almost forget. Like I learned this when I was working in sales, was like, you're an ambassador. When I was in sales and I was working for Sweetwater, they made it very clear to us that we were an ambassador to their brand. So whatever we did was a representation of their company. And us as believers, we have to remember whatever we do publicly is a representation of the body. And it seems like there are tons of channels that, whether they know it or not, they are doing good things. But in turn, with not doing enough research and just quickly putting out videos and trying to get on the top of SEO and trying to get videos out every day, you start missing points. And you start making us look like we're sloppy and that we don't care, and we think that, well, these people are going to hell. Let's just, I pray they repent. Instead of like openly having real conversations with some of these people. So that's my hot take for today on that. Because I agree, we do need to, there's a lot of dark stuff in the church that needs to be exposed. There's a lot of things I personally don't agree with certain denominations. But that doesn't mean that I know enough to confidently say these people are going to hell. Because really, I don't think so. I really think if there's anything that I've learned from the Bible in reading it, it's that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And that if your focus is on Him, despite all of that, that's what's going to save you. And, it makes you wonder, especially with what's been going on around the world. There are people literally dying for believing in Jesus Christ. And I'm fortunate enough to even sit in this cheap apartment and talk about how good He's been to me. When there's people that literally could not even utter, hey, I believe in Jesus, without being literally shot, mutilated. It just horrible, And we got to think about that. Like, I think that sometimes we're so focused on what everybody's doing wrong that we aren't being loving and being open to a conversation and changing the narrative of being a representative of Jesus Christ. Like, how can we actually help the community, right? So that's my stance on it. I kind of wanted to keep that brief today because it's something that has really sat with me recently. I've had to think about it because it almost makes me not want to watch Christian YouTube anymore. And I don't think that's a good thing because I love learning more about Jesus. I love learning more about the Bible. I love learning more about people's different opinions and standpoints because it's important. We have to understand how people got from point A to point B instead of just trying to be right all the time. And help others be corrected so that we can all get closer to Jesus, not to what we think is right. So, yeah, that is the rant for today. Because I think there's a lot of good, but it makes me wonder if this is the kind of stuff that like drove young Don away. This is the kind of stuff that drove a lot of people away, was that there's people that are like, oh, I read the Bible for X amount of time. I've been doing this for this long. I know the truth. And my truth is the only truth. And they're not open to actually having a conversation with people and understanding why they believe what they believe. Because I if anything, I've learned listening helps somebody learn and helps somebody change. Like listening to where they're coming from more than trying to like get your point across. And that's big. I think that's big. All right. Also, for y'all, I'm going to put it in the chat. I haven't been putting this out there, but I have a direct way to contact me. Like, you're more than welcome to reach out to me via this number. It's not going to dox me or anything. This is like my business line that I have. So I'm going to put it in the chat here. Feel free to call me, text me on this line. If you guys have any questions about like music creation, songwriting, you have any issues with your computer, like it's something that you feel like you just need to get like a one-on-one call, talk about like, hey, how can I improve? Like, I just got this piece of technology. How does it work? Because I'm going to start promoting this line again and making it available to have open conversations. And help people with music creativity. Like that was the goal with Songwriter Support, is to help more people. And you can call or text that number. It'll forward to my line there. Feel free, because I know I've put the Calendly link in the description, but I also in the ads that I'm going to start running for this business, because the goal of this business is to help songwriters. You know, I love Jesus. And I want to help people, because I know there's a lot of people that are in the music industry that may not believe. They may not firmly have strong faith in Jesus or know him. I know I didn't when I was in the music industry, and I think a lot of times you see what they talk about in the music and you don't think that. Okay, let me see. Trying to make sure I'm seeing everything real time here. Update things. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody who's been hopping into the streams, checking out stuff. Yeah, like honestly, y'all can call me anytime, message me anytime. If I'm not available and I'm working, just leave a text message or leave a voice message, and I'll make sure to reach out to you as soon as possible. Because I work such a flexible job. There's only like 1 or 2 days out of like the weekends. Usually I'm very busy, but if you guys are only available on the weekends, I will make time for you. Absolutely. Like, because I've learned that you make time for the things that you love. You always make time for the things that you love. And if you don't, you should consider that. That's a big thing. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Cool. All right. But yeah, I really think if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. I want to have a more open conversation about songwriting, Jesus, all of it. Because a lot of your beliefs are put into your music. Like what you believe about yourself, what you believe about the world, what you believe about your faith. That's very strong in music creation because what you're doing a lot of times, if you make a compelling song, is telling a story. And I think a lot of people think that if you make music that, let's just say this, I think you can glorify God with your gift, but you don't always have to talk about God in your music. But personally, that's what I would like to do. I like doing that because that's the kind of music I want to make. I kind of want to make stuff that's leaning towards gospel rap. That's kind of the vibe. Let me see. C sharp minor. Mm. Mm. Wonder if doing like. Mm. What's my. Okay. Oh, this is just a very taxing. Very, very taxing. Let me see. Oh, that might also help. Let me quit out it because I literally rebooted my computer right when I got on. So like there's probably a ton of other stuff running in the background. But also too, let me check. Mm. Oh, I kind of like that. Kind of like that progression. Mm. Mm. Ba 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 da 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 da. Ba 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 da da da. Da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ooh, let me see. I forgot Drift was a really cool. Let me see. Boo 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 boo. Mm. Mm. I like that. Do 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 do. What's good? Mm. Dun 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 dun. I like that. Kind of loops back right at the. Yep. Oh. I about pooped. Oh, you can't? It's not playing back the music? Hold on. Let me check something. Please don't tell me I have to restart my stream. Yeah, why is it not outputting? Let me take a look. Oh, I know why. Hold on. That's my bad. I feel stupid. There it goes. Thank you. I had it set up for a video, so I could have all the everything separated. Yeah, nice little start. I'm wondering where I should go with this. But oh yeah, for all y'all who just hopped in, that number that I pinned as the top message, you can call or text me at that number. I help directly one-on-one with like songwriting, with production, with those types of things, those types of questions. If you're having issues with your computer, you want to know how to like live stream, you want to know how to edit videos and do things like that, like that's the kind of stuff I do in my free time, and I want this line available to help more people. That's like my direct line. You can call or text that number for free. All right. See, kind of want to get some Hmm. Let me pick a different hi-hat, but it's getting there. You know what? I'm also thinking do like a clap for this. Do like the clap instead of the snare, and then just do the snare roll at the end. Like, doom. Just making the own snare sound, you know? See, I'm wondering if combining the clap like this one, and then combining this one, and then kind of layering the two. Yeah. Oh, it should be clap, clap, boom, boom. Clap, clap, boom, boom, boom. So it's just like a quick little snare roll at the end. And it's just maybe a longer phrase. So it'd be like double the length, and then that's when it happens. Clap, clap, bada, boom. But other than that, it's just boom. collect all and save. Do that real quick. That's right. Save your project files before you lose them. Because you will lose them. It's almost impossible if you don't save them. Let me get some. Yeah, let me freeze these because the computer's starting to blow up a little bit. But hey, since this is frozen, how's everybody's day going? Everybody doing well? Y'all staying prayed up? Y'all feeling extra blessed today for waking up? I for sure do. I actually woke up on time. I gotta work on that. Can't be a sloth, you know. That's sin. But for the longest time in my life, I normally, I could not sleep. And now it's like, I have trouble sleeping, but then I'll sleep a lot. Like, I'll be up till, 2 or 3. But then, I can't wake up. I can't wake up till, 12 or 1 if I don't set an alarm clock. I'm not going to wake up till 12 or 1 just because, my schedule is so late, dude. Man. It's because I'll be delivering so late. But that's when people need the help the most, dude. Everybody's home. They're like, dude, it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to go grocery shopping. That's exactly when they hit you up. And they're like, dude, I need help. It was actually funny yesterday. I had somebody, they ordered groceries because their husband was going to go to the grocery store, but his wife was like, nah, you've had a few beers. Sit down. I'm going to just order groceries, which I'm glad. I'm like, dude, yeah, I feel that. I've been working a lot, dude. Well, actually, last week I didn't work as much just because I had to go put my car in the shop again, and I mean, it's stuff that needed to be fixed. That's just inevitable. I take care of that thing. That thing is my baby. It's my source of income. So, I know, even though I've had to dump a decent amount into repairs recently, man, it makes sense just to fix it now, because if you try to fix a new vehicle, dude, these vehicles from 2020 and onward, I've seen how much the repair costs are for a suspension or a transmission. I have probably the last run of economy vehicles, a Toyota Yaris, dude, and not a GR Yaris, not the new ones. They don't really make economy vehicles anymore, bro. Even the Corollas and all of that, they're just way too expensive to fix. So I was just like, dude, I don't even want to get a new vehicle. I'm going to get an older vehicle that is going to keep a lower payment and then, fix it up. Do something like that. And I feel like the sad part has been, I've had to fix it all right now. But I'd much rather fix it all right now, you know what I mean, than have to get a new vehicle, $50,000 and 50,000 miles, and down the line, I'm having to pay double for repairs that are going to cost double what it would be on a cheap Toyota. Like, I felt like the Yaris that I picked is one of the last model years that they were doing cheap vehicles. Literally, the Toyota Yaris IA, dude, it's a rebadged Scion IA when Scion went defunct. So, like, it's really a rebadged Mazda 2, but it drives super nice, and gas mileage is like 30 plus miles to the gallon, and the tank is so small it only cost me like $30 to fill it up from empty. So it's like, dude, it's the ultimate car for delivery. It's amazing. Trunk space is good, drives nice. But I literally had to get a whole new suspension on it because it was getting pretty bad. I could tell. Honestly, the Scions were good. All of those cars were good, but I felt like once 2020 hit and the car market was like everybody could get approved, they started like adding all of these extra computers and stuff into the cars. And so if one of those sensors breaks, man, like your car's going to be in the shop for way longer than it should be. Because I've also heard getting parts is harder on these newer vehicles because of all the sensors. And sometimes these sensors, like if they fail, your vehicle won't even start. Because those are good, dude. This thing has been very reliable as to turning on and doing stuff, but it's just been like, I think the reason why the person sold the vehicle is they knew at the mileage that it was going to need all those repairs, because they didn't. Like, I looked at the repair history and I thought about it. I was like, y'all fixed like the stuff you needed to fix, like tires, getting an oil change, do all that. But you didn't fix the stuff that, like, once you hit 100,000 miles, you need to fix, like new spark plugs, suspension, CV axles, control arms, like stuff like that. Where it's almost hard to miss. It's easy to miss if you don't know. And that's what happened, is I didn't really know. And then I'm like, fortunately, it's not like the suspension failed to the point where my vehicle is like grinding. The tires are grinding in the wheel well. But it's like, dude, it was getting kind of rough because I would hit a bump and my car would, you know what I mean? Like it's floating when it shouldn't be. Oh. That's a nice little addition. I like that. Just a little. But I think what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to put the rotary on here, make it like spin around a little bit in the stereo, do the super stereo. There you go. That's what I was looking for. All right, you know the drill with this. Reverse riser. Okay, waves tune. C sharp minor. Okay, we're done with that. Well, actually not really, but close. Let's see. I want to see if I can do it with one of these reverbs. Actually, hold on. Do I have the Valhalla stuff? Did I download on any of that? Oh, I never downloaded the free Valhalla stuff. That's also another really good free plugin. All the Valhalla free plugins. Stuff's good. I've been downloading some new free plugins too. Shout out Psychocircuitry. They did some really cool free plugins for like vocal. So if like you're getting a whole bunch of pops in your vocal like I do, and I wanted to see if I could do something that sounded just as good, worked just as good, if not better than something I had as a paid plugin when I worked at Sweetwater. And honestly, if you go check out their page, like that stuff I was trying to link into a video, solid stuff. Shout out Psychocircuitry, and also shout out Analog Obsession, bro. This stuff for free plugins, like free LA2A, free Pultec, fire. Because I needed this. This is like, I had Universal Audio plugins, and then when I gave away my PC, I didn't have enough room when I was like going homeless, I didn't have enough room in my backpack for my Universal Audio quad, like the DSP chip thing. And dude, it was sad because the guy I gave it to didn't know how to use it, and I couldn't sell it. Like at that time, I needed the money just so I could like get a room, and Guitar Center wouldn't even take it. They didn't know what it was. When it's like, dude, I used to sell that, and I got it for free actually when I worked at Sweetwater because I sold enough of the gear. And it was useful because instead of running the plugins on your computer, it had its own separate processor. It was just basically processing chips for their plugins. But now Universal Audio has native. But the thing that's so stupid is if you bought the plugins, like if you owned the plugins and it came with the hardware, they don't let you download it native. Unless they've changed that recently, which I might look into. But okay. Let me see. What was this one? I can't remember. Oh, this is a transient shaper. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to test this. This is like a free plugin, dude. They have the new free plugins that are out are so good. Hold on. That's real good. Oh yeah, that's real good. Yeah, the Analog Obsession stuff, shout out them, bro. They're free. Like, the only one I have issues with is Rare, and it's a Pultec style EQ. For some reason, if I load this, it'll work, but then, like, after an hour, all of a sudden, it, like, glitches out and doesn't work. But this tool, like, is very useful. Like, let me see the Pultec though. This one, I love how it's called that because it's a free Pultec minus oversampling and all of that. But this dude, like, I'm gonna make this bass bump with that. Does it exactly the way I need it to. It sounds so good. Like it, and I had the Universal Audio plugins, like a paid version, and I honestly think this sounds just as good, if not better. Oh, wrong thing. but if you're newer to mixing, there's a thing called the Pultec trick where and it's used, this is used on vocals, on bass, and it's used slightly differently on different instruments. Like there's different tricks for different instruments. So for bass, one of the well-known ones is if you're flicking down to like 20 to 30 hertz. And the reason why you use a Pultec specifically is so this EQ has a certain tone to it in the circuit, in the real devices. But and I could show you there's a curve that, so Pultec EQ, boost and cut curve. So when you do a boost and a cut, instead of it just working like an additional, say like how a traditional EQ would work, basically when it curves, it does a slight dip in the mids, but then it boosts the bass significantly. And it's even shown here, like if you look at this graphic, if I can zoom in on it, that's crazy. If I zoom in, it just does the text. Let me see if I can just zoom in. Okay, perfect. So you see, like this is actually an analyzer, and this is how a traditional Pultec EQ would work. Is so the trick on the low end is you would notch somewhere, because if you notice, this is not the same exact plugin, but it's the same concept. And you'll notice there's a lot of plugins that emulate real analog pieces of technology. And this is how the actual analog technology works, minus some of the other characteristics or tone that you would get from passing it through electric circuitry. Okay, so when you boost it to 10 and you cut it to 10, it not only boosts the low end frequency like almost a ton, but then it does this slight dip right around the mids. And all of them kind of do that. And it gets that certain character or tone. So not only do you get a little bit more volume out of it, so you can usually in those plugins turn down the output to match, but this is a trick used by a lot of engineers. Like I actually learned this trick from Lil Baby's engineer when I was like watching some of his videos, and you kind of boost and cut right around the same area, and that's what the curve does. Is it boosts, it rolls off a little bit around the like very muddy 10 hertz and gives you more headroom, but then on top of that, it dips a little in the mids automatically, because that's how this EQ works specifically. So that's what you need to know about different EQs, is like not all of them are the same. They all don't work the same. And they all have different applications. So like honestly, I might actually try it on this, just to show you, and I'll use Pro Q as like the graphic to show you what it's doing. So I'm gonna boost probably right around 150, just to give this a little bit more fullness. But then, so you notice it rolled off a little bit of the low frequency, but not to the point of how this EQ would do it. This just straight cuts it off. Whereas this kind of slopes it. The attenuation, unless you go very extreme, you know what I mean? Like, so when you go very extreme, it thins it out. It still doesn't fully take out the low end, though. But it also depends on where you're doing it. So say I did this at like 30 hertz, like, because 30 hertz is like right here. you're going to notice it doesn't really scoop it out all the way. It just kind of gives it some flavor harmonically. And then I kind of want to... So that's why you might use multiple EQs. In an instance, like one EQ, say you use like a Neve EQ or an SSL EQ, if you guys are using other plugins, right? They all have different tones and they all operate differently. So like an SSL versus a Neve, they're consoles. And these analog consoles have different responses to them, different tones to them. So sometimes what I would like to do is I would even use analog emulation. I have some on here, or like things that are like that. Because some of those tools that are being used, like that EQ, for example, the Portec, which is basically a Pultec EQ-P1A. And I'll show you the piece. Let's just do a little history lesson on some classic equalizers. It's a 2-band equalizer. It's been used in tons of mixing and mastering studios. This is actually probably one of the most used EQs, right next to the Neve EQ in a studio setup. Like, this is the actual company. But the EQ-P1A is the original. That's like the legacy product of their company. That was probably one of the first pieces that really put them on the map. And this is the EQM-1A. But the original EPQ, that's what it is. I had that backwards. But yeah, that piece of technology right there, that's like a $4,000 unit. And it's very simple. It's just the tone. You know what I mean? See, I thought it was EQP. But Music Radar might have it wrong. I thought it was the EQP-1A. Yeah. Okay, this. If you get an emulation of this. And I wonder if they have the... Hold on. What's that compressor? Wow, I'm zoning too because I've used it a ton of times. Let me see if it... I'm going to laugh if I type in analog compressor and it's the first one that comes up and I'm just zoning on what the name was. For vocals. Let me just see. I'm going to laugh if it's the first one in via AI. But I'm trying to remember the name. Because usually you got the LA2A. That's normal. CL1B. Yes, the TubeTech CL1B. All right. This. And I'm talking a real one. The TubeTech ones are usually like $4,000 or $5,000. But this plus a Pultec plus the Sony C800 microphone. Every studio that I know that charges like $150 an hour plus, they all have these pieces of gear. And then the last thing they have is a Neve preamp. Those are like basically, if you see these pieces of gear in a studio, you know they're pretty serious about it. Or for the most part, they know what gear to buy. And this is what I learned when I went to a bunch of high-end studios. Like, what you pay for is not necessarily the expertise of the person that you're getting. Because sometimes you get somebody who's new, but they have a lot of knowledge, right? And they know how the gear works. But they might be newer to the studio. Versus sometimes you got somebody who's real comfortable and they know that they have good gear. Like the studio bought all the best versions. Like, so have you noticed too? These are all the same preamps. These are, well, not the exact same, and that's where I have to get to. Is Neve, he created Rupert Neve, which this guy died when he was 90. He created this guy right here created this preamp, and it's been emulated so many times. What had happened was he essentially had designed the Shelford preamp, and then a company was like, hey, we want to help you. And of course, they didn't do that. So eventually he parted ways with them, and once the patent for the technology went up, like, people just started recreating this. So that's why you can buy a Warm Audio and, Neve preamp clone, a 1073, because the circuitry has been out there for a long time. Now, the thing is the quality of the parts that they get are not anywhere near the BAE, and that's where it gets into even crazier territory. It's like there are companies like BAE and other companies that have access to the gear, but they have access to the original parts, like the parts that they originally used back in like the 60s and 70s when this stuff was originally being made. So this is what we have to understand. Like, if you're going to pay for studio time, like say you're an artist or like you want to go mix in a professional studio, it's actually good to know what you're paying for. And that's another thing too. If you see that pinned comment and like say you're an artist, right? And you want to go book time at a studio and you want me to let you know if it's actually a good room to go check out or if they're just, you know what I mean? Like, cause a lot of times you can know what you're paying for based upon what kind of gear that they have and if the rate's worth it. Because some people, they'll be like, oh, yeah, we're professional. We've got a C800 clone. But then, like, they don't tell you that it's just like a universal audio interface, and what you might be paying more for is the engineer. So then you just have to do research on what the engineer has done and if they actually do put out quality stuff. Or if it's like a studio, because I went to a studio here in Houston in downtown that they had a really good vocal chain, a really good setup. They had all the gear. They had accolades, but it was just like really bad customer service. Like they were just, engineers were calling off, and it was just like really bad communication. So sometimes you learn it's like some of these studios, they will prioritize their high-end clients over you, and they'll just be like, well, we have the gear and we track it and they like the way it sounds, and they'll use the same process for everybody, for just about everybody, just tweak it for you. And it sucks because then if you try to do extra stuff, like when I booked a session at this studio, and I'm not going to put out any names, the engineer that we had, there was literally vintage amplifiers, and I was playing guitar on the record. There was vintage amplifiers. There was a pretty decent mic locker. There was multiple mic preamps. This dude did not know how to patch a second microphone into their system. So sometimes, like, they could have the most elaborate system. They could have the best gear, but they do not know. The engineer may not know how to patch, which can blow stuff up. Like, if you don't know how to patch the gear correctly, you can blow things up because it's sending electrical current. It's all electrical. So that's why early audio engineers were electrical engineers. And a lot of people don't know that. They just think you can buy gear and it's just going to work and it's going to sound good. Like, no, sometimes you need to know what you're buying, why you're buying it, what cables you have, how you're patching it, what sequence you're patching it, and know that if you're going to pay for studio time, right? Like, does this person even know what, like what kind of records have they done, but do they know how to communicate well? Do they know the gear that they're actually in? Like, are they in that room all the time, or are you like hiring them and they've never been to that studio and they don't know how they have things patched? And then they have to communicate with the studio and get everything set up. So, that's kind of what my goal with songwriter support is using all my years of knowing the different pieces of gear. So a lot of times, like, you'll know a studio is serious if they own something like this. Maybe not necessarily the warm stuff. Like, some of the warm stuff is actually really good. So now I would say, yeah, that's okay. But like, say they own like a BAE 1073 or like an actual TubeTech CL1B or a real LA2A from Universal Audio or Teletronics or a real Rupert Neve 1073. Which that's the kind of stuff I would know. Like, if you're like, dude, before I go to this studio, I want to know I'm going somewhere legit. You know what I mean? Because I know there's going to be a lot of songwriters and producers that want to book time in a studio, but they may not know what they're paying for, right? And I could tell you pretty quickly, especially if they have a good website with photos and what they claim on their gear list, if it's going to be a good room or a good place to go track. And for the most part, I've learned it's pretty consistent across the board. Like, sometimes you're paying for a good engineer and they don't have a ton of gear. And sometimes you're paying for a good room with a bunch of gear, but they don't have an engineer and you got to pay for one. So you just have to know what you're buying into, you know what I mean? Because I don't doubt there's people paying for studio time, trying to write songs, trying to do things like that. And personally, I think you can do a lot of this from home. This stuff is just extra. It just makes it easier to get to the end product sooner. And that's what I think people should know is, like, you don't need $1 million studio to make $1 million sound anymore. And a lot of times, dude, some of these pros, they don't even necessarily mix in their home studios all the time. Some of them will do stuff on the road and then they'll come back and just check it on there because they have such good gear that emulates the rooms and the technology. So I thought today I'd give you guys a little history lesson on some of the tech some of the things that I use, even the free versions, right? Because this thing that's called the Lala, that's based on, and here, I'll show you the user interface. Okay, this is the analog accession Lala leveling amplifier. All right. Teletronics LA2A. And this is the original piece of gear right here. This is what it's based off of. And it's actually a really good vocal compressor. It's really good for bass and vocals. It has a certain sound to it. Very simple. If you put it on compress mode, it's usually like a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio. It's very subtle. It doesn't do very extreme compression. And it's optical, which that circuit, specifically an optical circuit, does not have very, very fast attack times and release times unless you flick it to limit, which a limit means it's a higher ratio. So once it goes above the threshold, it like usually will chop off the waveforms, whereas compression tends to roll off. And here's the thing. Compressing and limiting are the same thing. Limiting is just a more extreme type of compression. Okay? Like, it's crazy to think that limiting, compression, gating, and expansion are all forms of compression. But what the compressor does is what determines what that is doing. So if the signal goes over the threshold and the ratio is below 10-to-1, it's compression. If the ratio's over 10-to-1, like it's like 100-to-1, that's limiting. Now, Gating works where basically you're trying to get the signal above the noise. So once the signal drops below the threshold, that's when it closes the gate. It closes the gate. So that's why it will sound choppy if you feel like... That's why I don't really use gates, especially on vocals. A lot of people like to do that. Personally, if you watch my streams, you'll see me edit out the noise. You'll see me edit it out because it works that way. I'd much rather just do that and roll it off, because then you can really be specific. Because sometimes you might say a syllable quiet, you may say something quiet, and then the gate shuts. And now it's just chopping the signal and it sounds bad. And then the final one is expansion. And expansion means once the signal goes above the threshold, that threshold line, it boosts the signal. So expanders are used a lot in mastering, like on high frequency. So it helps get the air or like the bass. So you get that like smiley face curve, EQ. And I had actually learned that from Bob Katz when he showed us. It was like a... Hold on. I want to see if I can find this thing. It was like a Masalek 3. I think it was... is it the M3? Dude, this thing had... It was like a multi... Oh, hold on. Masalek... No. Multi-band compressor. Yeah. This thing was nuts. Yep, this was it, dude. The MLA3. This thing was nuts. It did... I think it did compression and expansion at the same time. Like, you could... There was it was 3 bands, stereo, and when you get in a multi-band compression, it's kind of interesting because it's like you can do stereo, like left and right control, or you can do a thing called mid-side. And mid-side is important because a lot of times you hear that. Mid is the mid-range frequencies. Side, side has to do with the stereo, like perception, whereas mid has to do with mono. So you can use tools like this to essentially like... So, for example, a lot of people might do side expansion so that... Because if you boost high frequencies in the sides and you do expansion in the highs, you not only get that like stereo wide effect, but you can essentially make it so, you know, basically you can alter the stereo image of your final master and maybe even get more headroom depending on how you're compressing it and how you're using the tool. So... understanding that you don't need to have all these tools, but this is how these people get the sound, is that they're using very expensive, you know what I mean? Like, look at that. This is almost 5,000 euros, including VAT. Like, you know, just for this one piece, for you to pass your song through, and then you have to know how to use it. And you have to understand why you're using it. And that's why, you know, not only if you guys have questions like that, I can be a wealth of knowledge to you about, okay, is this actually a good piece of gear to buy? Is this something I should consider? Is this like, am I going to actually use this thing in the way that I should use it? Or am I just wasting my money? Like, I could just be 100% transparent with you, and you can call or text me on that line and get a pretty quick response, honestly. So I'm fully open right now, other than, you know, working. So if I'm working and I don't respond to you right away, that's probably why. But you can still call me or text me on that line, leave a message. Love to get in touch with people because I love talking about this stuff. This was stuff that was very interesting to me, but also made me realize, like, how did they get the sound back in the day? How did they get, how do they make it with microphones like this? And that's the truth, is they used a lot of microphones like this. And I mean, this is a much better version. The technology is better. The SE Electronic stuff is really good. But, you know, they were using dynamic microphones back in the day, back when it was just the, hold on. I think it was called the SM37. Oh, no, it was, hold on, was it the SM7? There was like an original version. So it's the SM7, which is based off the SM7B. And then there was the SM57. But then there was one before the SM57 that I can't remember. But the SM57 was essentially like that and the SM58 were like the original microphones for recording vocals. But I remember there was one microphone that was before that Shure made that was the original microphone, basically, in these studios. And they were using microphones like this back in the 30s because they didn't have condenser technology. They didn't have technology to do stuff like that. So what you notice is, okay, back in the day, they had to use these crazy pieces of gear I've been showing you. Like, they had to use stuff like this to be able to get the sound the way they wanted it to with a microphone. But now we have the technology to where we can just emulate it to very similar pieces of gear, get a very similar tone, and have more control. So we don't have to like keep doing millions of takes and doing things absolutely perfect to get our points across. It's pretty wild. And I think it's important to recognize, like, if you're going to make music, this is probably one of the best times in human history just because we have that. One older. Hold on. Dang. Saint Savior Jerusalem. Bigger spaces. Large bunker. And then. Where's like yo, what? Cloud. I bet you this one. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Something like super long. All right. I wonder if I go, like, I pitch correct it down. Sometimes I fall short and don't know what to do. I feel I'm on course and I don't have a clue. I might fall apart, that's why I need the truth to fix up my heart and show me how to move. Show me the way, keeping me safe, Lord. Rose from the grave, you gave us a sword. Every day you gave us a door. I gotta knock while I await. I should just pray more. I keep on waiting, I need more patience, I need more faith right now. My mind is racing, constantly thinking I gotta claw my way out. What am I chasing, what I'm not facing? All of my fears and my doubts, cause of my fear I might drown. I lay it all on the ground. I keep on waiting, I need more patience, I need more faith right now. My mind is racing, constantly thinking I gotta claw my way out. He said be diligent, don't be more militant. Think about grace right now, think about change right now, not about your pain right now. How do I stand in his holy presence? How do I send him another message? How do I hear him answer my questions? Why do I live through another lesson? If I learned the first time, I guess I really didn't know. If I learned the second time, I guess I really need to grow. If I learned the third time, I don't know how I stay afloat. I thank you, Lord of hosts. I keep on waiting, I need more patience, I need more faith right now. My mind is racing, constantly thinking I gotta claw my way out. What am I chasing, what I'm not facing? All of my fears and my doubts, cause of my fear I might drown. I lay it all on the ground. I keep on waiting, I need more patience, I need more faith right now. My mind is racing, constantly thinking I gotta claw my way out. He said be diligent, don't be more militant. Think about grace right now, think about change right now, not about your pain right now. I thought I knew it all, trying to be my own God. Then I went through it all, it was my own pride. God didn't let me fall into my old life. He was my AAA, I was stuck on the roadside.
I was stuck on crystals and magic. Used to puff strong, smoking that cabbage. I had love wrong, I was a savage. Was a slave to all of my habits. Now I cling to my salvation. Spread the word across the nation. Put in work, I'm not complacent. He's the one who should be famous. All I know when I cry from the stress, it was all just a test. I let God press reset. Shut my eyes, get some rest. Pray that I wake again. I got life, I am blessed. Give my life to the best. I don't know how much time we got left. Time to shine, God's the best. Put that armor on your chest. Don't just cry, go repent. He's the guide through the mess. Jesus Christ, defeat death. Let him shine, do not stress. Now the enemy is on alert. Sending demons to your favorite church. Making reasons for your unbelief. Making reasons for the way you hurt. I don't need a pop-up like a perk. I need Jesus in my favorite verse. I need Jesus every season. He's the reason I can put in work. Hold up, there's a praise break. Show love, it's a great day. Pull up, in a freight train full of some Bibles. We start a revival, we marching like all of the saints came. All I know when I cry from the stress, it was all just a test. I let God press reset. Shut my eyes, get some rest. I wake again. I got life, I am blessed. Give my life to the best. I don't know how much time we got left. Time to shine, God's the best. Put that armor on your chest. Don't just cry, go repent. He's the guide through the mess. Jesus Christ, defeat death. Let him shine, do not stress. 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 Jesus Christ, defeat death.
That one's done. That one has to be done. Man, has my mic been cut off for a sec? Because I looked at the screen. I don't know what happened there, but that must have been what happened. Yeah, that one's been sitting on my hard drive for too long. But I'm with what David said earlier. Like, I feel like I've been working too much. But at the same time, like, if I don't, I won't be able to catch up with all the debt that I've had to pay off, dude. Because it's like God's finally providing me provision to be able to do the thing that I need to do. And I'm willing to live, you know what I mean? Like, live below my means so that I can tackle whatever debt that I have and have it paid off within the next few years. So that's kind of the goal, is just be realistic, tackle whatever debts, whatever things I have ahead of me, and then trust God will provide. But I also am wondering if, like, I just need to start putting a little money into starting songwriter support, and because I keep talking about it, and I really feel like it would be something that I could do and make a living off of and make a business off of. But the goal is to help people and still offer like a free line for people to contact. But, you know, if you're paying me for my time. You're paying me for being able to actually help you and offer different services. And that's kind of the goal with it, is like, I want to help people because I feel like we have access to all this technology and 90% of us don't know and still pay for studios, still pay for studio time, but don't know what we're paying for. And like, when you start to realize what you're actually paying for, it either becomes more worth it or more of a reason not to pay for it. Like, you have to know why you're paying for it. If you're somebody who would much rather change your own oil, then it makes sense to not pay for a studio. If you're somebody who would much rather have a mechanic change your oil, then it makes sense to pay for a studio. Like, that's the concept. Because either way, like, you're going to invest your money, right? Somewhere. It's just about doing it wisely. I wonder what I should make this one about. I like that. Cutting it back a little bit. That's right. Okay. So, I want to see if that Lala compressor actually, like if it's 0. Yeah, it's 0. Okay. I might try this one just to see, like, I want to see if this one tracks better. Oh. Not as noisy as the Pro C. Da na na na, down down, da na na na, no no, da na na na, no 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 no. Da na 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 na, da na 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 na, da na 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 na, da na na. I gotta give it all. Not living in a world. Depending on just. Ooh, this one's tough. Didn't know. Huh. I'm like looking at all of my old notes. That's wild. I swore a lot, dude. I used to say swear words a lot. I'm like looking back. Got a brand new Rolex. Ooh. That might be good. Because I wrote songs, and I'm like looking back, I'm like, wait, could I take an old song I have and reword it and rework it? Ooh. Got a brand new Rolex. Got a brand new Rolex. Got a brand new Rolex. Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. Got a brand new Rolex. Got a brand new Rolex. Got a brand new Rolex. Don't need money, but God still bless. What's that? What's that? What's that? You burn a bitch like a Dutch. That's crazy. I fold a simp like a crunch wrap. What's that? You burn a bridge like a Dutch. I fold a simp like a crunch wrap. Most of these rappers need dunce caps, smoking on synthetic runs, selling they sold for a comeback, watching them chugging the punch. Man, because, like, I had some good lines in this song. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I take the cheese, and 2020 could have taken me. Hastily, I took the cheese, and 2020 could have taken me. You had to be high with it on in the kitchen. Made that be high with that. Okay. Yeah, change some of the. I feel like I could write some good verses in this. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Yeah, why you got a new Rolex? It's like asking the question. Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. Because I used to say, got a brand new Rolex. That was the old song. But I'm like, looking back on it, I was like, dude, I have to cut like half of these and rewrite them. But there's some good ones in there. And that's what I think people should know, is you can look back at your past. You can totally look back at your past and be like, I did this, but I know where I can improve from this. But I like that. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Because I wrote this song over 5 years ago. So I can go back and rewrite it. It's my song. And I still have it registered. So it's just like, I could just re-register the song. Use a different UPC. You burn a bridge like a Dutch? I fold a simp like a crunch wrap. That's such a funny line. Watch a simp fold like a crunch wrap. What's that? You burning bridges like Dutches? What's that? You burning bridges like Dutches? Watching simps fold like a crunch wrap. That's such a funny line, because it's true, dude. They fold. They don't understand valuable relationships. They just fold on like if you watch these pop the balloons, bro, and you watch what culture has done to, like, they've made sexual immorality cool. It makes people fold. What's that? You burning bridges like Dutchies? Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap? Taking tricks out for some lunches. Oh, that's... But that's the truth, man. Like, oh, man. Because this, dude, have you noticed that with rap? That more and more, I mean, I'm just going to say, they either come out as gay, come out as trans, or bisexual, or they're like simping like super hard for women that are not, like, they're not going to bring value to a household, because that's not their goal. It's not that they couldn't, it's that the goal of some of these women is like they just want the money, so they will only do that. Dude, man. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gonna flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God still bless. That's good. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need a new Rolex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gonna flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God still bless. What's that? You burning bridges like Dutches? Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap? Taking tricks out for some lunches? Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Selling their souls for a comeback. Watching them chugging the punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and 2020 could have taken me. Man, I wonder, dude, that might have worked.
Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Man. I wonder. Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. No. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges like Duchess? Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap? Taking tricks out for some lunches? Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runs. Settling they soul for a comeback. Watching them checking the punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed it made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but got so blessed. So I lit it. Oh. Yeah, I think I got at least the first verse in the hook. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I like that. Because, dude, I'm not going to lie. I saw one of these, who was it? He was one of the Demon Slayer dudes. The guys that are like, slain in the spirit. And, demon, I see you. What's his name? Daniel. Gosh. It's like Supernatural Daniel or something like that. And I didn't even watch the video, and I was immediately concerned. He was just like, God gave me a new Rolex. And this song, I made this song like 5 years ago, and it was about rappers faking. Like, every one of the lyrics is just talking about, even though I was swearing, I was doing all that, and I was still falling into some of the tropes of modern hip-hop, like the things that you would talk about in it. I was like talking about just the fakeness of hip hop, even 5 years ago. Some of these songs that I wrote, like, I feel, and I've been having that thought too. Like, I wonder if I go back to some of my songs, because I looked at the lyrics and I was like, dude, if I took out some of these swear words and I rewrote things, I could still take these songs that I have and make them better. And, like, make it have a better meaning behind it. And still glorify God. And, like, I feel like I could do it in a way. Because I think there comes a point, too, where, what do you want to do with your music? Because I think there's some people that really, really do an amazing job of just showing you the authentic versions of themselves while still glorifying God. I heard some of Andy Mineo stuff, or Mineo, I don't know how to say his last name. Good stuff, man. Like, been checking out some of his stuff and checking out other people, and I realized, the only wrong way to do it is when you glorify yourself too much. But I like that.
I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God still bless. So you don't need money. And that's what I mean by that is a lot of times we think we need money. And I felt like going homeless is what God showed me about that. It's like, no, what we need is God. We just want those things because we know we can have a more comfortable life. And we can do things and influence people and influence our environment. But at the end of the day, we can't take it with us. And I think that kind of brings to the point of what I was talking about, kind of like in the title of this one, talking about Christian YouTube, is like, I think that there's this hard line that some people cross where it's like, clearly there's some people on Christian YouTube that are doing it solely for the money. And then there's some people on Christian YouTube that have a business, believe in God. They're not pastors or preachers, but, you know, they have a business, so they have a way that they need to make money. And then there's some where it's like, I feel like these discernment channels they were going at it the wrong way, and they had to end up making videos correcting themselves. And this is what I was saying earlier, is I feel like sometimes we're so quick to jump to things and not have the full picture that we don't represent the body of Christ well. And it draws people away. And I mean, we all make mistakes, but I think like jumping on other people in the body the whole time and focusing on that too much makes it so that we don't glorify God in a way that would appeal to people to be like, yeah, you know what? I want to be closer to Jesus. Because I thought that's what the whole book was about. Like, even there's some of these discernment channels which I don't agree with the stance that they take. Like, I don't agree with Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy in ways because I don't fully understand it. And from what I've read, some of it looks like idolatry. I don't know. But I've noticed that there's some people that are very firm, like, what they're doing, they're going to hell and this. And I'm like, I don't think that's... I think even if you think that, that's not the right way of doing it. That's just going to drive them further into what they believe, because you think deplatforming people or like treating them like that is going to make anybody learn anything. And if anything, it makes us all look bad and like we're all fighting each other. Like, that's very concerning. You know, because it's like, even if you didn't pick a denomination, if you were non-denominational, which for the most part I am, like, I've not settled on one. I thought it was, in the end, it's like, wait, I thought this was all about Jesus Christ and what he did for us, and it was God coming down in the flesh and saying, hey, like, I know I made you. You're not perfect. You basically need to be saved from the sin of Adam. It's inevitable. And that's why you need a Savior. That's why you need Jesus. And, some of the different sects focus on tradition. But, I think in the end, we all just have to believe in Jesus Christ. Because it's like a baptism, a baptism is important as a public declaration, but that's not what saves you. Because if that were the case, why would Jesus have died on the cross? Because, yes, he was baptized. And we should, but that I really think, like, what saves us is the, grace faith. Like, and that's what it says in the Bible. And I think, I'm not saying we shouldn't baptize people. I think we should. I'm not against it because that's biblical. I just don't think that's the sole reason for the salvation. I think, and besides, like, without the Holy Spirit being there, without Jesus being there and being a part of that, like, what kind of baptism is it? Because it makes you wonder, too, like, I've heard of people going on and talking about demonic, like satanic churches, and them actually looking and operating much like a church would. But they do the same things. They do very similar things. So it makes you wonder, like, what is it that saves you? Like, what was the whole reason of Jesus dying on the cross? And him coming down and telling us, like, it's not about man-made tradition. It's about Jesus. Like, that's been the most hard thing to understand about Christian YouTube. Is they're all pointing at other people saying, this person's a sinner, this person's going to hell. If you don't do this, you're going to hell. But aren't they all inherently sinning because it's like a prideful boasting of who's wrong and who's right and I'm the righteous one? Like, it's a genuine question. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that as in, like, why? Why is it about what you think is right and not about just us, pointing everything towards Jesus and what he already did for us? Because it's made me ask some really deeper questions. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, like, there's some people that believe King James was homosexual and that he, in that book of demonology, that it was like him telling you about the craft. But when I read a reprint copy of the book of demonology that the same King James who printed the King James Bible printed, interestingly enough, he condemned witchcraft. Like, if you read the very beginning and you read into the first chapter, it even says, like, from what I could understand from the Old English, he was very clearly saying this is satanic and I don't understand why people continue to do it. Like, that was the most interesting part about it, because I'd always heard that, and it made me question the King James Bible, but then you actually read part of the book, and you're like, he's doing Ephesians 5:11. He's, like, exposing the darkness of all of this. So, like, what makes you think that he would be all these things? Like, do you think he's just a double agent? Like, why would he reprint the Bible and try to get the word to people? Now, I do think he is much like any other king or any other royalty, like, that's ever been recorded in the Bible. Of course, he probably fell short, probably did some things that were not right. And I think that there might have been, because I've heard with the Geneva Bible, there are some things that slight variations, which they could be scribal errors, or they really could be like him trying to remove certain things so that he could maintain more power. I personally don't know. But I recognize that either way, God's word is infallible. And between all different denominations, that is the truth. So it's like, I feel like us as believers have to be more focused on that. On, like, how do we get people more aware of the word than your tradition? And why you think people are wrong. Because I know that we're called to do that, but it's like, dude, I'm getting so tired of seeing it. I'm getting to that point where it's like, I thought this was about the goodness of God and his mercy. And that we should want his mercy. And not just, guys, these people are wrong. And they're heretics. And it's like, it's crazy, dude. Been thinking about that recently. Because I think it's important. I think really, you know, I have questions. And I'm not somebody who's opposed to learning about why people believe what they believe. Oh, you burning bridges and Dutches? Watching Sims full like a crab? Taking tricks out for some lunches? That's crazy. But it's true. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic rinses. Selling them, they sold for the comeback. Watching them chugging the punch. I like that. I think that'll work. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but close. I gotta do it again. Gotta do it again. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Try it again. Get in the pitch. Yeah. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I gotta get the timing. Yeah. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Yeah. Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you
Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money, but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't. Okay. What's that? What's that? Yeah, yeah. What's that? Taking tricks out for some lunches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. All right. I'm gonna get the hook in the pocket. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches? Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap? Taking tricks out for some lunches? Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runs. Selling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chugging the punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Yeah. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching some further dun dun. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know. It's tough to like get the timing. I don't need a new Rolex. Yeah. I don't need a new Rolex. Yeah. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but got so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runs. Selling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runs. Selling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watch us unfold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Suddenly they sold for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me.
Isn't that crazy, dude? That's free software. This deplosive sensitivity, highly suggested. I mean, deplosive by Vocal Fix It, excuse me. And there's oversampling, but like zero latency, sounds good, very easy to use. It's one knob, and all this Delta feature does. Yeah, so you're gonna hear all of the little. What it does is you hear all the little things that it's recognizing. That's what the Delta signal is. It's like the inverse is basically what it's trimming off. So yeah, dude, this is cool. I like the effect.
What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watch us unfold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Suddenly they sold for a comeback. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watch us unfold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Suddenly they sold for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a... What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watch us unfold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Suddenly they sold for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things. I'm gonna re-record it. I'm gonna try it again with maybe a little bit further back. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they sold for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they sold for a comeback. Watching them chugging a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. Yeah. Let me see. Fee, fi, fo, fun. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what. People keep their eyes shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Oh. Delicate rhetoric, eloquent, devilish, resonance, precipice, predicate, elements, delicate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish, a masochist, revel the labyrinth. Dude, I can't believe I wrote that. And this was at a point in my life that I was like, dang. This was at a point in my life where this is the random folder. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what people... See, I know what... See, I know why. See, I know why people keep their mouths shut. We guys so numb, choose to seek the evil done. See, I know what. See, I know what people keep their mouths shut. We guys so numb, choose to seek the evil done. Delicate rhetoric, eloquent, devilish, resonance, precipice, predicate, elements, delicate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish, a masochist, revel the labyrinth. Resonance, precipice. Relevant. Delicate rhetoric, eloquent, devilish, relevant, precipice, predicate, elements. Let me think about that one, because dude, that's very that's very high language. When I think about that, I got to remember predicate. Delicate rhetoric, eloquent, devilish. Like it seemed smart. Relevant, precipice, predicate, elements. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay. Relevant predicate elements. The basic, it's like precipice. I'm trying to remember. Oh, wow. Okay. And sometimes the sequence of which you have words. Dang. Delicate rhetoric, relevant precipice. Like the delegate. Dang. Dang, dude. Relevant precipice, like a relevant steep drop. Eloquent, devilish, predicate elements. Delicate catalyst.
Um, Eloquent, devilish, predicate elements. That's derogate. Huh. Derogate. Derogate, to take away, to detract. I'm wondering. Desolate. There's just so many. Desolate. Oh, wow. That's scary. Desolate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish a masochist, revel the labyrinth. Delegate rhetoric, relevant precipice, eloquent, devilish, predicate elements. Desolate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish a masochist, revel the labyrinth. That's poetry. I gotta remember. Because it's like context. Yeah. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Dang, dude. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what. People keep their mouths shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow one. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. I like that. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what. People keep their mouths shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. Delegate rhetoric, relevant precipice, eloquent, devilish, predicate elements, desolate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish a masochist, revel the labyrinth. Dang. That's hard. That's very difficult. And that's when you gotta like parse apart to think about what I'm saying there. Because I think we can all relate to that now. Like that last part. Because some of these like spiritual teachers, man, they are leading people to death and destruction. Because they're not letting them know about Jesus. They're like, you can do this yourself. You can be your own God, man. You can do this.
I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God so blessed. C5 phone. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what people keep their mouth shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. Delicate rhetoric, relevant precipice, eloquent, devilish, predicate elements, desolate catalyst, teaching the savages, relish, a masochist, rebel, the labyrinth. Oh, that's almost too fast. Delegate, rhetoric, relevant, precipice. I don't need a new Rolex.
I think that might be
I don't
the
need a
last
new
little bit.
Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God so blessed. C5 phone. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. See, I know what people keep their mouth shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. Delegate, rhetoric, relevant, precipice, eloquent, devilish, predicate, elements, desolate, catalyst, teaching all the savages, relish all the masochists, and revel in the labyrinth. Yeah. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you...
I like that first part. I feel like something else could be there. Because I'm like, you could say something like that, but it's just, it's too trying to be intelligent. Like, I've noticed that sometimes you can say things and it sounds smart and it will work, but I feel like that's better for like a boom bap beat. Like, you could think about that. You're going to chew on that for a second. Whereas like this is, you got to get people's attention. It's quick. You're listening to the beat. If you overcomplicate it, people will totally lose interest. I think I got the first half though. That's crazy. I've had most of the song written already. Normally it's like I don't write it and I come up with something. But this time I was like, wait, why don't I just go back to... Because I was looking at my notes today. I was like, all right, I'm going to go grocery shopping. Go grocery shopping. I write down everything on my list. Of course, I buy everything on my list and then some, because when you go grocery shop anymore, it's like you remember, and then there's sales on the things that you remember that you're like, well, I don't have this, and I know it'll last a minute in my fridge, and I don't necessarily need this, but if I buy this, I'm not going to go out. So I'm like, dang it. And then I go look at all my notes, and I'm like, dude, these are all my notes that transferred from my other phone from like almost 7 years ago. Like, it went that far back. And I'm like, dude, this was like 6 or 7 years ago. That's how far back it went. And I was like, dang, I have so many lyrics, so many very stupid ones. I can't read them because I sweared a lot. I had a sailor's mouth. Oh. Fee, fi, fo, fum, y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah. Oh, wow. Dang. I like that. Fee, fi, fo, fum, y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah. People keep their hearts shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. I like that. Seek Jehovah. People keep their hearts shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God so blessed. C5 fum. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah. People keep their hearts shut. Weak eyes so numb. Choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons. God will always overcome. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like where this one's going.
I don't need a new Rolex, don't need money but God so blessed. C5 fun, y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah, people keep their heart shut. Weak eyes so numb, choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons, God will always overcome.
Dang, we act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now.
We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we don't. Seeds I sow tons, God will always overcome. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act Why you got a new Rolex?
We act like we can't. Okay, we act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. Dang. This is also why I like to write sometimes. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figured life out. Man, that hits close to home. Sometimes I don't like writing because you're like, whoa, hold on. Did I really just say that? Because maybe that's why he encountered me in that way. Was like, I was trying to believe in myself and believe I am God and I can figure my life out. And then life happened, like, in a major way. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season Wow, that's why when in any season I pray he shows the right route. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season I pray he shows the right route. Pray he shows the right route. Dang. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figured life out. That's why when in any season, pray he shows the right route. Plenty of people filled with demons want to take your light out. Like, for real, dude, people are getting Swiss cheesed over nothing anymore. And they don't know how to fight. Even though I don't think people should be fighting, like, bro, people getting Swiss cheesed out here over nothing. You scraped my Hellcat. You looking at me funny. You said something I don't like. We gotta pray for him. Seeds I sow, tons God will always overcome. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season pray he shows the right route. Plenty people filled with demons want to take your light out. Yeah. Why you got a new Rolex? Seeds I sow, tons God will always overcome. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season pray he shows the right route. Plenty people filled with demons wanna take your light out. Girl, why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? I like that. Feel like that'll work for this one. B5 fun, y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah, people keep their heart shut. Weak eyes so numb, choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow, tons God will always overcome. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season pray he shows the right route. Plenty people filled with demons wanna take your light out. Girl, why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Oh, whoa, hold on a sec. What happened? I changed something. I see what happened. Dude, that's fire on the hook.
That sounds really good. I think I'm going to do that there. And then I'm going to do that here too. Oh, crap. That's why when in any season, pray he shows the right route. Plenty people filled with demons wanna take your light out, girl. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. Money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed. Yeah. Don't need money but God so blessed. Yeah. Don't need money but God so blessed. 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 Oh, maybe just the one. Don't need money but God so blessed. 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 That's wild. I like this one. This is one I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. But I'm glad that I took a song that was not good. It swore a lot of swear words, a lot of nasty themes, and I made it good. Made me feel like, dude, I do not have to always be perfect and have it right, or have the right thing to write. Man, let me play it from the top. Oh. Don't need money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch rap. Taking tricks off of some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chucking a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch rap. Taking tricks off of some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chucking a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money, but God so blessed. C5 fum. Y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah. People keep their heart shut. Weak guys so numb. Man, I'm gonna just copy this. That'll be the lead vocal. Let me change the color. Boom. This will be the dub track. Dub 1. Sweet. What's that? You burning bridges and Dutch. What's that? What's that? What's that? You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks off of some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chucking a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. You burning bridges and Dutches. Watching Sims fold like a crunch wrap. Taking tricks off of some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps. Smoking on synthetic runts. Settling they soul for a comeback. Watching them chucking a punch. Falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Huh. Doesn't sound too bad. What's that? You burning bridges and why you got a new Rolex? 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 Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God still blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God still blessed. What's that? You burning? Yep. That sounded squishy. That was weird. Why you got a... Alright. Boop. 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 Alright. Now we're doing the other track. Rolex. Rolex. Dub 2. Why you got a new Rolex? 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 Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new... Let me do it again. Why you got a new Rolex? 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 Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that? Yep. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. So understand, y'all. Doubles make a difference. Doubles make a difference. Adds a nice little layer to just one vocal. I mean, some songs, it's just one vocal. You know what I mean? One take. That's the vibe. But this modern stuff, I feel like layers help a lot. Like being able to do harmonies and other vocal tracks and stuff like that. It helps a lot. Consider it.
Oh. All right, now we're comping, editing, just doing it quick. So I use another plugin called Vocaline, which I don't know if there's any free plugins like that. If there are, that's awesome. But vocal alignment makes such a huge difference too. Like getting the timing exactly right with every vocal. Because your computer's going to have some inaccuracies, you know. It's kind of inevitable. It's in milliseconds. There's no zero latency. That doesn't exist. Huh. What do you know?
Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex.
Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Boop, boop. And then boop, boop. Dubs. So then what you do is you feed the one vocal. Like this one's more in time than the second one. Just because usually when you add more tracks, the timing starts to kind of drift. Because your computer's got to process more tracks while recording your audio. So I usually will do the best take first, and I think the first take was the best take because of the timing. Because they were both about the same. Sidechain this in, and then what you do is you hit capture, and then you hit play.
Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that?
Okay. So now that it's loaded, you can get the pitch and the timing pretty much right on the money.
Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that?
Definitely got to tweak a couple things, but I think the idea is there. So now what I do is I consolidate it. So it makes it one audio file, like two separate takes, one audio file. Boom. Makes it nice and clean. A lot of software has this stuff too. So once you've done edits, you can like take out the noise, make it one audio file. And then what I do is I freeze and flatten Vocaline. So that alignment that I had with it is like there and it flattens. Boom. So now that the timing and everything is on point,
Still gon' flex.
like that line, right?
Still gon' flex.
Just tweak it a little bit.
Still gon' flex. Still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. New Rolex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Still gon' flex. Still gon' flex. Still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex.
Oh, whoops. It's not what I meant to do. I meant to do just this one. And then boop, boop.
Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed.
Okay, so this one.
I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. What's that? You burning bridges and
All right, consolidate that. So now it's just boop. The only ones I don't consolidate are the lead vocals because usually I tend to like tweak it until it's done. Like make sure I don't cut off anything too soon. Because if you consolidate, like say I mess up an edit, it consolidates the edit and everything too. So
watching Sims fold like a crunch rap, taking tricks out for some lunches. Most of these rappers need dunce caps, smoking on synthetic runts, settling they soul for a comeback, watching them chucking a punch, falling for anything and everything. There's better things than what it seems. I see the streams, they fake believe. I see the seams into the dreams. Many things seem fake believe. I see what greed had made of me. Hastily, I took the cheese and my old self could have taken me. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. B5 fum, y'all act like I'm really dumb. Seek Jehovah, people keep their heart shut. Weak eyes so numb, choose to seek the evil done. Seeds I sow tons, God will always overcome. We act like we don't need Jesus till we need him right now. We act like we can't believe him till you figure life out. That's why when in any season, pray he shows the right route. Plenty people filled with demons wanna take your light out, girl. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Why you got a new Rolex? Ain't got money but you still gon' flex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex.
Yeah.
I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. I don't need a new Rolex. Don't need money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed. Don't need money but God so blessed.
all right, I'm gonna play that one from the top. No vocals. And then I think I'll end this stream for now. Just kind of play this out. Yet another successful stream. Song done. About 4 hours of streaming. Thank you for everybody who's tuned in and checked out the channel. Check things out. I haven't been posting as much. I've just been working on some other things, but also just working. Like, it's feeling like, also too, just seeing the Christian YouTube community, it's made me not want to make content because it's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing and somebody who doesn't have the same belief as me correct me and like try to reprove me in some way and act like I'm just the worst possible person to be talking about Jesus, which I agree. Like, I'm not here to teach. I'm here to give a perspective. But I think if you need guidance, go to a pastor, man. Like, go to somebody around you. Get in your church. I think that's the most important thing I could say. That's what I've learned. It's like going to church has helped me a lot. There we go. What another amazing stream, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it every Wednesday. I try to be here at 2. I was a little late today. Sorry, y'all. Went grocery shopping. And I should have done it sooner. But, hey, it is what it is. Shout out everybody who stuck around. Checked it out. Yeah, seriously though, if you want to book a call with me or you just have questions, that number that's the pinned comment, call me on that line, text me on that line, you'll get directly to me. And you can reach out, either book a virtual call, like a Zoom call, one-on-one, face-to-face, or we could just talk on the phone. I'm here to help. Appreciate everybody who's been locking in and just checking out the channel. But I think I want to end it on a prayer, and then we'll call it. Heavenly Father, thank you for another awesome stream. Thank you for the opportunity to take the time and connect with more people, connect with the body of Christ more. I pray that if there's anybody that needs reproving, that needs correction, that needs that they can go to your word, they can go somewhere in their local community and find somebody who's going to help them get closer to Jesus, because I know that every day we need Jesus more and more. I pray that you continue to give me wisdom and discernment and help me walk with kindness and honestly self-control so that I can lead others as well as show them where they need to go for where they are. I pray that whatever I do, that it helps me connect people deeper to Jesus and not just glorify and puff myself up. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to make music, something that I really feel like you have gifted me. I pray that there are any gifts that any of my viewers watching have and they feel like they're struggling to receive them, that you open the doors for them so that they can use the gifts that you gave them. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. Thank y'all for sticking around, man. Thank you again. I really appreciate everybody who sticks on through any of this, because it's just, this is one of the very few times in the week that I like make music really anymore, which is kind of sad because it used to be every day. It used to be I get off work and I'm like, boom. But hey, like I pray that more people actually lock into their gifts, me included, and I pray that whatever I go through going into this into this year, continuing, like, allows me to do that. So thank y'all again. Y'all have a blessed day and take care now. Peace out.